Babies, we're gonna do reading. I'm gonna do reading. You do what you do. I'm not your mom. First, let me start by saying, who's freaky deaky? What came to mind when I was setting up my phone to try to get this reading done was like, would you mind? And then it immediately, like, with the quickness came, would you mind? Would you mind? Would you? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's Kevin Gates. If you know anything about that song or him in general, then you know. If you know, look, I'm not judging, per se. Oh, hold on. Okay. Let's get some cards pulled, because I feel like I'm going to do tarot and oracle today, so strap in. How you feeling? No judgment, you know, live your life. With the quickness. Oh. Oh, ow, 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 shit. Oh, shit. Okay. So immediately, my first thought went to this motherfucker. But listen, bottom of the deck is the 9 of Cups. So you're actually, hold on now. I'm like, drink water, babe. Anywho, immediately my mind went to this motherfucker. Like, that's how you feeling? With the energy of Kevin Gates being in the background, right? We got the Emperor reversed with the Death and then the 4 Cups. Where my mind went to is that there are options. You're just not looking at like the one that needs to be looked at. The 4 of Cups usually is referred to as someone paying attention to one cup and not the ones around them. But this one is being represented as someone that's paying attention to the wrong things and not the right one behind them. You understand what I'm saying? Both of them speak of like a blindness and like focusing on the wrong things or closing your vision off by having kind of like tunnel vision on something that then denies the presence of something else. In this card reading, this is why I like having different tarot decks with different representations. In this tarot card reading, we are seeing someone that is looking at their options, but the golden goose is behind them. So you've got somebody with the Emperor. The Emperor is coming out reversed. Their presence within themselves. Is that? Hold on. I kid you not. Hold on. Ignore my mouth. I'm sorry. I have to. Do you see that little? Do you see that growth? In the literal middle, in between a rock and a hard place. I kid you not. Wow. I'm sorry, whoever you are, I just got like real. You've got someone giving up the options. I know, because you got the Emperor in reverse, then the Death, followed by the 4 of Cups. So the Death is referring to the Emperor reversed is talking about the presence. That's where you are now. That's where they are now, whatever it is. Take it as it resonates, whoever's watching this. Then you've got the Death and the 4 of Cups showing that there is an ending to your lack of proper attention. I will say that, because that bird behind you, the word that came to mind is like the golden goose. Like, you are like their golden fucking goose, but they can't see you because they're so focused on the things in front of them that they're like, well, you're behind me, or you're beneath me, or you're like, you don't even exist to me type shit. But it's clarified by the Nine of Cups. By the Nine of... Hold on now. Do you see how, like... Do you mind? Do you mind? Do you mind? Do you mind? I'm being a soldier. For real. Oh! I'm like getting hot flashes. Whew, that shit is real. Real. Somebody had a tower moment. Somebody had a tower moment. Somebody is having a tower moment. Somebody is either actively going through or just went through a tower moment. And they're like, bro, I cannot have a new beginning until I stop juggling fucking everything and everyone. I'm not feeding delusions. The rock in a hard place will be your confirmation. My heart is like, it feels like a sharp release. You understand? Where it hurts, but it feels like it's emptying something. If you know what I'm talking about, it's like a physical somatic sensation. It feels like it's clearing something, but it feels like a sharp clearing. Like something's like scratching its way out. But yeah, this is like the rock in a hard place will be your confirmation, however that pertains to you. I know for me, if this reading was from, can this reading be for me? Like, I'm not going destiny swap with y'all. I like my life the way it is. But damn, the way this has me like cheese and there's a lot of sex coming. The other song that's coming to me is like Talk Dirty by Jason Derulo. Been around the world, don't speak the language, but the booty don't need explaining. Maybe that's how they were. Maybe I'm getting like very Lady and the Tramp type of vibes. Maybe that's really what it is. Like, they never really had a connection. Like, with other people's, they had attachment, but with you, they have a connection. And they're looking at people like, vagina ain't it. Or like, penis isn't all that. Like, that's the energy I'm getting. Is like, where they're like finally realizing that what you offer them is something so profound that if they put their whole roster together, it couldn't even, like Ankles by Jessie Reyes. Type. No shade. Well, shade if you need it, okay? Yeah, there's this, deliverance comes as alignment and not escape. So they're not just making this move like, okay, fuck it, I guess I'll just, Like, there's a deep, you got the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and the Five of Cups clarifying that at the bottom. They're not just saying like, oh, the people around me just don't love me. They're like, the people around me do not fulfill me. Like, that's how deep it is. It's somebody recognizing the weight of you are the company you keep. It is somebody that's recognizing, I like keep feeling hair tickling my neck. So I don't know if there's, like, if you're into neck, I don't know what the neck is significance of, like, truth and clearing and you know, voicing things, but I very much think throat chakra because my sinus just acted up, so that's also throat chakra connection. With your blues, yeah, oh yeah, this isn't something because you're like, oh well, like I feel like you're the type of person where it's like, I don't want you to choose me because you think I'm the best that you might find. I want you to go through who you need to go through and then realize or recognize, not even realize, but recognize that I'm the one that you want. You know, like you're not the type of person that's like you recognize that there might be someone that like has a better body or can cook better or whatever it is. You know, like if that's what you want to experience, that's what you want to experience. But if you want to experience me, you want to experience me, not them through me. You know, like I could cook, but I'm not no cooking with Kaya. Shout out to her with all her recipes. If you can take my man, then it was not my man to begin with type shit. He was just looking for something through me. And that's the cycle that's being broken. Is like, my company no longer fulfills me. It's not like, oh, these bitches don't get me. I keep emphasizing this masculine energy, but the Emperor did show up. So like, it's not gender specific, but it is masculine energy. So take it as it resonates. Because energy is not gender specific. Anyhow, within that, I don't think that, okay, I'm getting a reminder of something that I was saying to myself a while back, where it was along the lines of, with an avoidant partner, I was like, you know, if you tell me how you feel, like fully, like full vulnerability, like tell me all the things that you feel, and you're like, bro, like I want to marry you, I'm not gonna expect you to act on that. Sometimes just knowing how you feel is enough. You understand? But if it's like, oh yeah, man, like I like you, I deeply care about you, right? You know, like sometimes that release is so impactful, and that's what's should be being shown up here, is that they think that because they tell you something, all of a sudden they have to start building it. They're like, what do I have to do to like make it happen? It's like the idea of like acceptance is the first problem, or like admitting it is the first step. They think that once they admit it to you, they can't not act on it, and maybe they're not ready to, or they don't want to act on it, they're scared to, whatever. I'm not their mom, okay? But that's what's coming through, is that like they feel like there's not enough to do, but there's so much to feel, you know. So you're being asked to give grace, because a tower moment, as great as it is to hear, for if you're the person on the receiving end of it, as great as it is to, you know, to hear that, that's also a death. That came out again. I shed, excuse me. That still requires grief. Like if you're gonna lose a roster, you're still having, that's why I don't have a roster, okay? Because I can't do 15 breakups every month, okay? I can't do it. I just rather have nobody, okay? But that's kind of what it is like, they're like, damn, I gotta stop contacting, I gotta stop having access to people that once gave me something, this and this and this and that. Because not only do they no longer align with me, but now I also have to follow through. I gotta have coherence. Oh, love that for them. But it's like you're excited to hear this, but also have patience and grace for the fact that it's like, yeah, if that's happening, deliverance comes through alignment, not escape. So you're not escaping the era of confusion. You're aligning with the era. You're aligning with the era of coherence and union, right? So like it's not, don't just be like, yeah, those bitches couldn't stand a chance. Like I said, like Ankles by Jessie Reyez, like the exact line is like, these bitches couldn't measure up to my ankles. Respectfully, why are you in competition with them? Like, what's that got to do with anything? At the end of the day, this should serve as like a deep confirmation, you understand, of like, you're doing what you're doing, and in the background there is a tower moment going on where there is a loss that you are needing or seeking, if something that is, you know, union, whatever it is in your mind, and it's coming into alignment. And how you handle this now will prove how ready you are. Because if you're like, you know, no tea, no shade, but also like no tea, no shade. You understand? Like it's not, respectfully, as much as it's about you. I want to say it's through you, but it's not about you. It's very much about them right now. Wow. Yeah, so you've also got, I'm thinking back to my Rock in a Hard Place, and the song that came to mind was As Long As You Love Me. As long as you love me, we could be starving, we could be homeless, we could be broke. Together you are meant for such abundance that it overflows. It also, another confirmation with the Six of Pentacles is that you want to give. One of the things that I want to do when I get money is I want to be like an angel investor of sorts. I want to do those things where all those like people that go out with cameras and they're like, oh, fill up the shopper cart and I'll buy whatever you want. I want to do that minus the camera. That's me personally. That's kind of the thing that, like, I don't know, you want to open up, think of like confirmation, like you are probably someone that wants to open up like a free clothing store around a public school or or daycare. You're probably somebody that wants to fund cars for single moms or something like that's kind of, you want to have so much wealth that you want to share it. And the depth between this is that you are building an empire, not only like for yourselves, like me and you, but also an empire that trickles out. You understand what I'm saying? So like, it's not just an empire between us through love, but also like, look at all them little fucking kids. I don't know if kids are significant, but like, that's kind of like the idea of like, you want to be, I'm thinking of like Beyonce and Jay-Z. They're like mom and dad to a lot of, and not literally, but like they raise a generation, you understand? And that's kind of like what it is that you want to do, is you want to not have that recognition, but you want to be so impactful. And that's why there's such, because it's so fulfilling to them, and you are so fulfilling, or you are so fulfilling to them and they are so fulfilling to you, and together you mesh into this beautiful union, where there is like, that's why they need to weed out the cracks in their foundation, which is literally what the Tower is about, because this is something that overflows so much that it's like, it's shared. And I feel like that's not just like you do, like you share with people. I'm thinking back to Bell Hooks, and Bell Hooks had an interview on Speaking Freely, where she talked about the idea of loving someone you like is easy. She's feeding roaches. You understand? The white fox behind her is a spirit guide. You understand? Like, it's so protected. You want to, whether it's wisdom, finances, whatever it is, like your union will be so so impactful, so powerful for the world. It's like I'm literally seeing like a supernova, something so like that it's not like love is the least of your fucking concerns. If you're like, oh, but what if they're doing this with other people? Because the song that's also was stuck in my head all day was like, I'm breaking dishes. Is he cheating? Man, I don't know. You're probably getting that energy because they're clearing that shit out. Would you mind? Would you? I'm sorry. I also want to say, like, heavy twin flame. Because twin flames, when they come into union, always come in with a sexual energy out. Like, that would make Kevin Gates, like, oh. So that's really, really, like, enjoy yourself.